What is going down, my YouTube family? It is your boy Zary from Zary's Mobile Gaming, coming back to you today to bring you a new updated experimental version of the new series. And here's my reasons behind it. I am a content creator for you, the viewer. I get a lot of feedback of things they would like to be put into the Noob series, and they are all good points. But I'm in a conundrum when it comes to that, simply because my Noob series are already 45-50 minutes long. If I add this new content, I'm looking at maybe another 2 to 3 minutes per character of additional content, which most people want to see. But that means me, the content creator, is asking you, the viewer, to watch a video for over an hour. And that just is not feasible. On my end, it'll take me 3 to 4 hours to produce these videos, edit them, get them the way I want them, and things of that nature. And then we all have lives, we're all busy. I am not going to watch a full video for over an hour on YouTube because I don't have the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down per character. So today, we are going to do Shadar for noobs. If you like the way this goes, you gotta let me know, because I will go back and I will make videos for all the existing characters I've done to help out to do this format. So if you want to see just Soleus, you can just go to the Soleus for noobs and watch it. I should have done this a long time ago, but I got a lot of great feedback, and it didn't really dawn on me what I was doing until I got this feedback from everybody out there. So I'm going to incorporate some different things into this video. I'm going to talk about where I would sync scrolls for this character, what I feel is the most important scroll sync in their move kit. I'm going to talk about different rune options. It was pointed out to me, and I was oblivious to this, that it is a noob series. And I'm telling you to put speed runes on a champion. I can't even get to speed on my main account. So how is a noob going to put speed on? I'm going to incorporate the different rune options. Now, I might not put them on and show you all the stats. I might say the best is speed on this guy, and I might put speed, but then I'll talk about other options I could do. I want to make these videos somewhere between 10 and 12 minutes long. This one's going to be obviously a little bit longer because of the explanation in the beginning. So please, please, please leave me the feedback. I love the interaction. So before we get into Shadar, if you are not part of the family, you should be part of that family. And right in this little area here, there should be a subscribe button. Click it, subscribe. Don't miss a thing. Here comes Shadar for noobs. So here is Shadar. Shadar is a clan's demon fighter, mage, dragon slayer, and a leader. He has a spellbook on his back for doomies. That's pretty funny. Alright, so we're going to look at his stats. And looking at his stats here, some couple things we want to know is that his physical and magical damage are as follows. Physical damage is 1258. Magic damage is 3063. But we know he's a mage, so we know he's going to deal magic damage. So we're going to focus primarily on that. Crit chance is at 20.29%. His health is at 20,809. His physical armor is at 30%, but his magic armor is at 37.23%. His shield is at 22,031. His speed is at 145. Very high mid speed for him. Potency is at 7%. Tenacity is at 31%. And I generally don't talk about this, but his lifesteal is at 30%. One of the highest in the game. Looking at his stats, we found out that his speed is about high mid game for champions. His critical chance is a little bit low, only coming in at 20.29%. His magic armor is extremely high for a base at 37.23%. And his health and shield combination is only at 42,000, so it's very low. So based off what we learned from his stats without even looking at his move kit, We know he's going to need survivability. We could possibly focus on speed secondaries to increase his already fast speed. Let's get into his moves. His first ability is Stone Spear. Stone Spear deals 260% of magic damage to an enemy and inflicts armor decrease for 2 turns. So it inflicts armor decrease. There isn't a chance, so that takes out potency because that's good because he's at 7%. And then he deals 260% of magic damage to an enemy, so magic damage. Second ability, Power of Earth. And if you're watching it now, this is one of the coolest animations of any move. He deals 460% of magic damage to an enemy and stuns that target for 1 turn. So, again, he stuns, not a chance, so we don't have to try to stack potency. And then it deals 460% of magic damage. Third ability is called Earth Armor. Shadar gains an armor increase and debuff immunity for 2 turns and restores 50% of the turn meter to all allies. So this is a really cool move. Gaining armor increase and debuff immunity for 2 turns would be a good standalone move by itself. Then you add on that it restores 50% turn meter to all allies. Really cool. So what I learned from this move is that I really just want speed because I want him to be using this as much as I possibly can. His passive ability is called Bookworm. Shadar gains a 10% magic damage increase for each living demon in the party. So this is much like Mortha, where her passive gives her magic damage for each living orc in the party. Same basis, you want to run him with demons, you take in a full demon squad, you get 50% magic damage, amping up all of his moves. His last ability is the Leadership, and it is the only leadership demons have. All allied demons gain 20% lifesteal, a 30% chance to inflict slow for 2 turns when inflicting a debuff on an enemy. Now, like I said when I broke down the General Murdoch kind of pump your brakes video, and if you haven't seen that, there'll be a card up there. But this leadership is not good. I really don't care for it. Allied demons gain 20% lifesteal. Great. Demons have arguably the best healer in the game in their faction with Xantera. Solius is 1 for me, maybe 1A, and Xantera is 1B. She is just phenomenal at her job. They built that kit extremely well, which we'll see in the upcoming video. And then you only have a 30% chance to inflict slow for 2 turns. Ugh. It's really not that good. So what did we learn from his move kit? We learned he needs magic damage. He's feeding turn meter, so we want him to be fast. So we have a couple different options for this character. If you're running him possibly in Arena, you would want to put a speed set on him. But for the PvE content, especially, I feel you should go damage and health. We want to increase his survivability. We want to ramp up that damage and make him hit hard. Now, the Rune set, we could get an extra 10% speed with the speed mod set. I have a feeling we can pull out probably 45 speed, get him up to maybe 175, 185 range just by secondary stats. So this could be very feasible for the free-to-play player. So I'll be right back after I mess around with the runes. Okay, I am back. Full rune amulet. I went with health secondary to give him 10% health to increase his survivability, and then I went with damage to increase his overall damage. Secondary stats I focused on obviously were survivability, speed, and damage. I stayed clear of everything else. You're going to see some potency on here, but it was the best rune I could find to encapsulate all those other things. So quickly, let's go over them. Damage primary, health, armor, speed of 3, and potency. I have speed, damage, armor, damage, and again potency. Armor, speed, critical chance, tenacity, and health. Damage, health, critical chance, shield, and armor. Health, damage, speed, and armor. Damage, health, speed, shield, and armor. So let's see what it did to his stats. But before we get into the stats, everybody, just one quick thing is, if you're not concerned about his survivability and you're running him with a solid tank, you could put in a critical chance set to increase his critical chance. So you could go damage, critical chance. He's already dealing massive amounts of damage with his second ability, so I steered clear of that, and if I got him on secondary stats, great. But again, if you're running him in arena where battles last not as long, you could also consider going damage, critical chance, speed, critical chance. Just thought I'd throw that in. So what did we do? We wanted to increase his overall health, we wanted to increase his damage output, and we wanted to increase his speed. So let's see if we accomplish that. We brought up his magical damage 729 to 3792. We brought up his critical chance 2%, so we'll take it. We brought up his health 3,869, bringing it to 24,678. We brought up his physical armor by 2%, his magic armor by almost 3%, but it pushed it over that 40%, so that's big. We brought up his shield by 424, not the best, but brought it to 22,455. We brought up his speed 35, putting him right at 180, so that's fantastic. And potency and tenacity, whatever. So I feel we did a very, very good job of incorporating what we learned from his moves into his runes. So now we are going to break down his abilities and where I think the scroll sync should be. So to kind of understand how we should sync our scrolls is we have to see what we get for each one. So obviously to start, we get magic damage and inflicts an armor decrease for 1 turn, so you get that instantly. And then as you go up, you only get magic damage increase. At level 6, you get it for 2 turns. We get the main gist of what this ability does right at level 1. We get the armor decrease, even though it's only for 1 turn, but we also get magic damage and the armor decrease. Now everyone should always take their abilities up to level 2. Level 2 only takes green scrolls. We get those left and right. So at level 2, you get more magic damage. Second ability is the Power of Earth. So at level 1, it deals 135% of magic damage to an enemy, but you get the stun right at level 1. So we're going to use our green scrolls. We're going to take that up to level 2. We get 190% of magic damage. Third ability is his Earth Armor, where we gain the armor increase and the debuff immunity and the turn meter. So at level 1, Shadar gains the armor increase for 2 turns. Level 2, green scroll investment, should be done right away. It restores 10% of turn meter, and as we go up, we gain more and more turn meter restored. We do not get the debuff immunity till level 6. That decreases the value overall of this move, not by much. The debuff immunity, I'd much rather have that versus the armor increase, but the turn meter gain, we're getting 10% turn meter restored to enemies without putting any blue scrolls into this ability. Then we have the Bookworm passive, where we're gaining 10% damage. So right off the bat, we gain 2% damage, and obviously as we go up, we gain more and more. And honestly, I'm not going to talk about his leadership, because if you want to sync your leadership, his scrolls into that leadership, go for it. I would just take it right up to level 2 and stop, because no blue scroll investments, you're getting 15% lifesteal. You want to sync blue scrolls, so at level 4 is when you gain 10% chance to inflict slow, and you're looking at probably 40 to 50 blue scrolls invested here. Not worth it at all, in my opinion. So which is the most important ability to sync scrolls into? To start, me personally, is his passive ability. You sync blue scrolls into his passive ability, you're benefiting all his attacking moves by putting scrolls into this one passive ability. So you start putting your scrolls in, and you're gaining more and more percentage of your magic damage. That is going to make your Stone Spear and your Power of Earth hit harder without putting the blue scroll investments in there. So priorities for me when it comes down to this set would be obviously his passive. We want that turn meter gain out of here, but without a blue scroll investment, you're getting 10%. So maybe putting in 1 blue scroll investment and taking it up to the 20% to start would be big. And then I would go bounce kind of back and forth between these two. If one of these was an AoE, they would come in second, but they are both single target damage. So maybe go with the Power of Earth, because that'll do more damage before you go with your basic. So I would go passive ability 1, Power of Earth 2, Earth Armor 3, and then his basic 4. That's the way I would do it. Okay, YouTube, there it is. There is the Shadar for noobs. Let me know what you think, please, about this new format. I actually personally enjoy it more. Again, I want to keep these videos maybe between 10 and 12, 13 minutes for everybody so they can just sit down and watch and move on with their life, or if they need to go back and quickly reference it, they're not scrolling through 45, 50 minutes of video. So let me know what y'all think. I'm looking forward to hearing your responses. A couple things coming up for the channel is I'm starting to put together my January Ask Me Anything, Get to Know Me Better video. I got a lot of astounding feedback on that video, so I'd like to keep that going. If you have a question, you can find me on Discord. I will link my Discord ID in there. I'm actually working on making a Discord server. I got a lot of good content coming out this week as well. I'm off, relax, make some videos, have some fun. So as always, leave me a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you didn't like. My job is to make you guys happy. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But my overall goal is to make videos that you all want to watch, obviously. So that's all I got for you today. Please let me know what you think of the new format. This is your boy Zary. I love you all. Be safe. I'm out.